For a lot of Australians, this tax cut announced last night, it's going to be worth about $5 a week from mid next year. Is it designed to help you win votes?
What it's designed to do is to help Australians with cost of living. And it builds on the tax cuts that have started this financial year so that the average Australian will benefit over $2,500. In addition to that, extra cash in their pockets. We've got real wages increasing. We've got cheaper medicines. We've got energy bill relief. We've got free TAFE. All of these measures are aimed at assisting Australians at a time where people are under financial pressure. We're turning the corner. The economic figures that were put in the budget last night show that inflation, which had a 6 in front of it, now is at 2.4. Employment is continuing to grow with 1.1 million jobs created. We're continuing to see, of course, positive growth. Real wages increasing. All those measures mean that people will feel that support which is there, and the government is doing our bit by adding a top-up, if you like, for the tax cuts that we introduced last year.
Now, this budget includes money for the endangered Maugean skate in Tasmania, pandas in Adelaide, and even, I noticed, the Rabbitohs' great rivals, the St George Illawarra Dragons. Are you trying to hit every constituency before the election?
What we're doing is governing for all Australians, no matter where they live. And that's why we have had a comprehensive plan since we came to government, whether it be turning the corner on the economy. We inherited an inflation rate with a 6 in front and going up. That's now at 2.4. We inherited very soft employment growth. We've had 1.1 million jobs. We inherited real wages going backwards 5 quarters in a row. Now they've gone forwards 5 quarters in a row. Interest rates have started to rise before the last election. Now they've started to fall. All of these measures are important, and we have a comprehensive plan, a strong economy, giving us the space as well to complete the Gonski reforms. They are so important, giving every child an opportunity. But we now have early childhood support through our abolition of the activity tests, our 3-day childcare guarantee, our childcare investment in wages to make sure there's a workforce there to look after our youngest Australians, through to our schools, better and fairer schools funding, through to our Universities Accord and our free TAFE, making sure that every Australian gets those education opportunities that are so important. They open the doors of opportunity, and we want to push them a bit wider.
You've touched on a whole range of different things in the budget there. I just want to come then to the budget bottom line. This budget's pretty clear. There are deficits as far out really as can be reasonably forecast. After the election, is there going to have to be some sort of reckoning where spending is either pulled back or taxes are going to have to be raised in some way to pay for a lot of this?
We've produced, since we came into government, almost $100 billion of savings. We have improved the budget bottom line by around about $180 billion, and if you look forward, that budget bottom line improves by some $207 billion. We have turned the deficit to almost half that was predicted just 3 years ago in the Coalition 2022 budget. And the only group that will be putting forward cuts are, of course, Peter Dutton, who has $600 billion he has to find for his nuclear energy plan. He'll cut education, he'll cut health, he'll cut everything, except he won't cut your taxes. That's the only thing that he's opposed to cutting.
Sorry to jump in there, Prime Minister. I mean, we can ask the opposition leader about that afterwards. I just want to just clarify, though, after the election, as you look forward into the future with these deficits forecast, you don't see a time where we have to pull back on spending or work out another way of raising revenue in order to get the budget back into a better structural position?
Well, we've already had some almost $100 billion of savings. We've been responsible in the way that we've managed the economy. We inherited in that first year a $78 billion deficit that we turned into a $22 billion Labor surplus. We followed that up with another surplus, and in last night's budget we've halved the deficit. We will always have responsible economic management, but what we will do is make sure that we look after people. The economy is there to look after people, not people the other way around, to look after the economy. A strong economy gives you the space to do what we're doing, strengthening Medicare, providing opportunity through education, making sure we do protect our environment, making sure that Australians are looked after with cost of living relief.
I just want to go to a slightly different issue. The Queensland Premier was in Canberra this week. We've got him on the show in a minute. Did he put the hard word on you for some extra cash for some Olympic stadiums?
No, we have our funding is there for the Queensland Olympics. So we'll work constructively with the Premier. We know that the Brisbane 2032 Games is an opportunity for Queensland, but importantly an opportunity for the nation as well, to showcase us to the world, just like Sydney 2000 and Melbourne 56 did. And I'm sure they will be a tremendous success. And of course we'll work constructively with Queensland, because this is an important opportunity for our nation.
One notable thing about the budget is how relatively little allocated but not announced spending is on the books. It's just a couple of $1 billion. Does that mean that all your big election announcements are done? And have you now decided on an election date?
Well, the election will be made, James, as I've been saying for a long period of time. I believe that 3 years is too short. I've been saying that. Remember last year at this time, Peter Dutton wanted me to go to an election in order to stop our tax cuts for every Australian taxpayer. So he's got a record here. It's not surprising he supports the top end getting tax cuts, but didn't support a tax cut for every Australian, like he's not supporting this tax cut for every Australian either.
We'll ask him about the tax cuts. Before I let you go, do we need to get the drone ready to track your car to the Governor-General on Friday morning?
Look, I'll announce the election at an appropriate time. The election will be in May. This is another reason for a 4-year fixed term, but unfortunately you've got to have a referendum for that, and it's failed twice because the coalition have refused to support it.